Good evening, folks. This is Wemette coming back to you with a bedtime story, and this one's kind of serious. It's about Kenneth Hansen, the brother of Curt Hansen. Amongst many things, I think he's most famous for, I don't know, he was involved in the George Jean murder. He was involved in a lot of different things, but because of circumstances, one of his sons paged me on my Sky page, and that was after I left Chicago. And his father was sure that I would never, I was in witness protection, and he was sure that I would never be seen or heard from again. And the reason his son called me, or paged me, and I called him back, they didn't have caller ID in those days, was because his mother died under suspicious circumstances, and Ken was trying to murder his wife on numerous occasions. He even asked me to do it on several occasions, and I didn't want to. I liked Beverly. She was a great person. She just got mixed up with the dope. What can I tell you? And on top of that, she could never really accept the fact. She couldn't let go of him, but she couldn't accept the fact that he was gay. So a pedophile also. But along the way, what happened was, I wrote about it in my book. There were some terrible things that happened. I don't want to embarrass his children, Danny and Mark. Both boys were rather close to me. But when we actually were going over it, Jimmy Spilotro was working on the Helen Brach case. And Jimmy was talking to me one night, and I had called him and I asked him, it was hard to get because he was working on a fast case. So anyway, the bottom line is, while I was talking to him, he gave me a list of names to go down, and he was shocked because all he knew me was from Grand and Ogden, or from, you know, that crew at Grand and Ogden. And he was shocked to know that I knew everybody in the horse business. And so when we went down, he asked me about this one, and when he mentioned Ken Hansen's name, I turned around and said, yeah, I know him. And he said, well, what's his claim for fame? And I told him. I said, well, I don't know. The guy turns around, and he's kind of a strange guy. And he turned around and told me that he murdered these 3 little boys, the Peterson boys, he called it. And that started the investigation right there. Jimmy took more interest in that than the murder of Beverly Hansen. And all kinds of questions were asked. It's in my book. But at any rate, what happened was finally they arrested Hansen, and he was tried and convicted 40 years later after the 1955 murders of Bobby Peterson and his Anton Schuessler and his brother, Schuessler brother. It was a sad thing. Just before I wrote my book, I contacted Leonard Goodman, who did his appeal in 2002. We went back for a second trial, and then a second jury found him guilty. And I asked Mr. Goodman, I said, do you really think your client was innocent? This was just before I published. And he said, yes. And I said, okay. And we said goodbye. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. The only things I testified to is what he told me. And whenever he told me these things, he was drunk. He was absolutely drunk. He attempted to molest me at one time while I was sleeping. I was drunk in his house trailer. He was a real piece of work. And aside from that, in 1977, he did, along with Vic Spilotro and Curt Hansen, and there were a couple other people involved, he did murder Helen Brach. It was at the Sky High Stable that they brought the body, and that's at 17201 South Central in Tinley Park, Illinois. It's a sad story. You can read some of it in my book, like I said. You can find it at redwemette.com. That's an autographed edition. You can also get it at Amazon.com or CreateSpace. has it. They're all for the same price. It's just, if you order directly from me, I'll autograph it to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story, and have a good evening. God bless you.